Guys, I have just arrived to the end of Las Vegas. You want to know what I mean by that? Look. The road just ends. But it's not just the city's borders that go from something to absolutely nothing. It might now also be the entire city. Vegas is dying. That's what people everywhere are saying. And to be honest, the numbers are worrying.
Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer, costing the city billions of dollars.
Tourism is down a whopping 11%. June alone saw 400,000 less visitors. Billion-dollar resorts are empty. This is starting to get creepy, don't you think? The Vegas airport is losing hundreds of thousands of passengers. And overall, the numbers haven't been this low since there was a global pandemic.
Las Vegas is starting to look like a ghost town, and the locals are super worried. Vegas used to draw you in because they would give you free valet, no resort fees, steak and eggs for $3 anywhere you went. You gambled for like a little bit at $5 poker hands, and you would get a free room. They would comp your whole stay. You'd come back. Now you have $50 a night resort fees, you have $40 valet, you have steak and eggs that are like $98, you have bottled water for like $25, and they were like, why is tourism down? Well, people can't afford it anymore, and they got fed up.
It's a West Coast thing. Yeah, everything on the West Coast is like dying.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Las Vegas and the fear of Americans about the city dying. Right now, there seems to be a fight between the haves and the have-nots, right? And in America, it's beginning to look like if you don't have it, then you're on the receiving end of the suffering.
Right. And this is not the first time we are hearing about what is happening in Las Vegas. We've been hearing complaints of tourist population declining ever since June of 2025, right? Mm-hmm. And most people are attributing this to the 1% trying to push out the middle class of Las Vegas. And this also comes with the huge number of tourists who usually save up to go and experience or enjoy Las Vegas.
Right. But I might have to say that this is not exclusively only to in relation to Las Vegas, because there was also another thing that Americans noticed when the Texas State Fair was happening. Right. And also the number of tourists had declined, therefore leading to the question we are going to ask. People are feeling like maybe it might be partly because of Trump's policy why the economy is where it is. But my question is, do you agree with that statement, or do you think that America is just running its course and this is some of the example of the outcome of that? Let us know down in the comment section your thoughts and opinion. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. But for now, let's watch what we prepared for you, and then we come back and talk about it.
Now, I refused to believe that this was possible, so I went to go see it for myself, and before I even got to the hotel, I started to see what people were talking about. The 19-minute ride from the airport was $95. The minibar had a pressure sensor, so if you wanted to pick something up for more than 60 seconds, they charge it to your room, and you do not want that. A can of Coke was $12, crisps were $10, 2 energy drinks ran me back $18, 2 coffees and a cake pop $28, a bottle of water in Caesar's Palace, $12. A basic sandwich, $17, and that's not even including tip.
Get me out of here.
Heck, money can accidentally leave your pocket in Vegas. While we were there, a mother reported her hotel charging her $224 after her son unknowingly unplugged the weight sensor tray to use the wall sockets. I mean, she should have known. It does say that you'll be charged $50 a day plus taxes on this tiny little note right here. How could you miss that? Now, I go much deeper into this in the full YouTube video, so go watch that after this. But beyond the prices, there's also a major generational shift in Vegas. Gen Z aren't drinking, smoking, or partying as much anymore. In fact, when booking a vacation, they're the most likely generation to search for nature. Yeah, a little different to the inside of a smoke-filled casino. I mean, just look inside the most expensive resort ever built in Vegas. It's completely dead, despite the owner stating that this project was themed to attract a younger crowd. But the ultimate question, after a full week in Vegas, did I and my friends think that this felt like a dying city? Well, not exactly. It felt like a hurting city, most certainly. And the prices of Vegas keep going up. Yeah, it's gonna have more problems to come, but it still attracts over 40 million visitors each year. That's staggering. And Vegas has faced problems like this in the past, and it's reinvented itself, and it definitely needs to once again. But if you go there on a Saturday night, there is nowhere in the world that is quite like it. So if you want to see our full experience and reasoning,
if you really want to know what's going on in Vegas right now, and if it's really as empty as people say, stay here and watch this video. Over the past couple months, I've seen a lot of clips on TikTok where people filmed empty streets and said Vegas is dead, and I was thinking, hey, no way. They probably just filmed one side street at 5 in the morning. Last night I got here was August 7th, Friday night, and I went out at 10 p.m. It is shocking. Even the actual main strip is crazy. Check out these videos.
Yeah, people were in line. It's Friday night, 11 in the Luxor Hotel on a Friday night, 11:30 p.m. And this is what's going on.
So yeah, there you have it. I would say Vegas is officially dead. The only place you see people is if you go to like a DJ set or any kind of event, and even that in a nightclub is 50% full, max. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't help to sell freaking bottled water for $8. Vegas, you need to reset.
Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer, costing the city billions of dollars. Some are saying that could signal trouble ahead for the U.S. economy.
We're seeing double-digit drops in Vegas in particular, and I think that's going to be the story of international tourism in 2025 and going into 2026.
Las Vegas may still dazzle, but for many visitors, that sparkle now comes at a steeper price, from soaring hotel rates to $9 coffees. Inflation is hitting hard, and fewer tourists are traveling to the famous destination.
Picture this. You land in Las Vegas expecting glitz, energy, and that electric feeling that only this city ever had. You check in at your hotel, and before you've even unpacked your suitcase, the bill hits you. $60 early check-in fee, $50 resort fee, $25 cocktails, and you realize it's not the Vegas you remember. One Reddit user summed it up perfectly. We can't afford Vegas the same way we used to. This is why we just sleep in the car now. Tourist numbers are collapsing. Vegas saw an 11.3% drop in visitors this June alone. That's over 400,000 fewer people in a single month. So what's happening? The truth is, Vegas is being redesigned to push out the middle class on purpose. And it all starts with one cold, calculated idea straight from the top. Reason number 1, the elimination strategy. The truth slipped out in one sentence. During a 2023 investor call, Caesars Entertainment CEO Tom Reeg said, "You're kicking out the lowest end. I see no reason that needs to stop or would stop." That's not a misquote. That's the plan. Vegas executives aren't hiding it anymore. They want fewer tourists, but richer ones. They're deliberately pushing out middle-class visitors who used to fill the Strip, the buffets, the shows, the blackjack tables. Because when your goal is to impress billionaires, the average gambler just gets in the way. Every price hike, every new fee, every closed attraction, it's not random. It's part of a strategy. Make Vegas so expensive that only whales can swim. But here's what they don't get. When you chase away the crowd, you kill the atmosphere. And without that buzz, even the whales stop coming. 2. When Vegas lost its magic. There was a time when Vegas felt magical. You could walk the Strip and see fire shoot from the Mirage volcano, pirates battling at Treasure Island, or fountains dancing to Sinatra, all for free. Families, honeymooners, broke college kids, everyone got a front row seat. That was the deal. Vegas gave you a show, even if you didn't gamble. But that deal's dead. In August 2024, the Mirage volcano, a Vegas icon since 1989, was demolished to make room for Hard Rock's new guitar-shaped tower. Crowds gathered to watch one last eruption, phones raised, nostalgia in their eyes, before it vanished forever. The same thing happened to Treasure Island's pirate show, and even small attractions like the Avengers Station have gone dark. They call it progress, but what it really is sterilization. Vegas used to invite everyone in. Now, it just sells exclusivity. And with every upgrade, it's losing the only thing that made it legendary, the feeling that you belonged there, even for one night. 3. The high roller obsession. So who's Vegas catering to now? Not the tourists who save all year for one weekend on the Strip. They've been priced out. Vegas now chases the whales, the ultra-rich gamblers who bet more in one night than most people earn in a year. People like James Packer, the Australian billionaire who splashes millions at the Bellagio, or Floyd Mayweather, whose gambling streaks are legendary. For them, Vegas rolls out the red carpet, literally. Private jets, chauffeured Bentleys, suites so luxurious they don't even appear online. Meanwhile, the rest of us are paying $25 for a watered-down cocktail and a $55 resort fee. But here's the irony. Those whales aren't what keep Vegas alive. It's the crowd, the middle-class gamblers who fill the floor, buy the drinks, cheer at the tables. They're the heartbeat of the city. And Vegas is cutting out its own heart to impress a handful of millionaires.
All right, we're in Vegas. This is supposed to be the city that never sleeps, but there's like literally no one around here at all. And on all of our walks pretty much tonight, we've seen nobody. So, I don't know. Is Vegas slowly dying out? Look, no one's here.
Wait till I get my money right.
Okay, so I live on the edge of Vegas, and I've seen a couple TikToks of the airplane view of how Vegas just ends, and it is kind of weird that it just ends. So I'm going to show you what it looks like from the ground view. So you got the houses here, right? And it just goes. And that is the edge of Vegas. Pretty mountains over there. Houses. And then nothing. And it is kind of weird that it just ends, but honestly, I love living on the edge of Vegas. It's quiet, it's peaceful, there's not a lot of commotion. I love that every single time I drive over here, it just goes all the way out like that. It's beautiful. But that's the ground view of the edge of Vegas.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section.
Right.
You know, let me just talk about Las Vegas from the point of view we have as Africans, as Kenyans growing in Africa, and what we were being shown on movies. Yeah, Las Vegas was this one place where it was related. It was
like a dreamland.
Dreamland for those people who really want to have fun and you want to live your life. You know, they usually say YOLO, right? You only live once. So
that is where you'd experience
a
the
YOLO moment.
Right.
You know, and we used to watch in movies how people would go to Las Vegas and gamble, win big, lose big, you know, just go there and get your life to happen, you know.
Right.
But I also have to say that one thing I think we have to understand is that Las Vegas is not like any other normal city. That city was built purposefully for people to go and spend there. You know, when you look at the structure of it, it was purposefully structured for people to go and spend there. So when you're looking at, I guess it kind of makes sense because one explanation for the decline of Las Vegas is that because they're saying they want rich people to go and spend money there, which I do understand. Probably, there's this YouTuber I was watching he normally goes to these exclusive places where only rich people go and they spend a ton lot of money for things that me as a normal person, I don't even understand, you know. I'm like, why would you go and pay for a normal egg? You're paying something close to $100, just one cooked sunny side up egg for you to call yourself. It's like, I don't know, I can't
They're
get.
selling the experience.
I think that is it. They're selling the experience.
So you think it makes sense for them to box out people because they want big spenders?
I feel like you also have to look at what gave Las Vegas its life, and that was the fact that people could go there, people could be able to fill the streets, and right now the economy already is difficult as it is, and people have priorities when it comes to spending that. If you find the few people who want to go and spend, those are people who have really worked hard and they've saved up enough for them to go and be able to spend on whatever they can afford to spend in Las Vegas, So just trying to box people out just because you've increased prices, like the valet, they used to be free of charge, right? Right now I hear they're paying $40 for you to get one, and I'm like, right now people have priorities just because of how the economy is, and if that was a plan to box out rich people, I would say that it's
people
working.
are not being boxed out.
Sorry. Oh yeah, poor people, not poor people, but middle incomers,
Right, but I do feel like, of course, okay, billionaires can decide to buy up a city and live alone in that city, but I do feel like this is not the way to go, because even if billionaires can afford to go in Las Vegas alone,
right,
the thing that makes Las Vegas lively is the source of the many people they're trying to lock out, because at the end of the day, sometimes you're not only going to enjoy yourself, but you're also going there because of experience, because of human interaction,
Right. And the surprising thing is that right now it's even more expensive, more than ever, for you to go to Las Vegas. That clip we were watching in our compilation where the person was talking about that woman who was staying in their hotel, and the child unplugged something, they weighing something, and they ended up being charged for that. And there was a notice to let them know that if that would happen, they would be charged. But the kicker here is that the wording was so tiny that they didn't even catch it until they were billed for the son doing that. And I'm like, that was done on purpose, Of course, that paper being there was being used as an excuse to say we told you so or we notified you. But in real essence, a normal human being, if it was too small for anybody to notice, it's because that is how it was meant to be,
Right. And also another thing that truly shocked me was when someone said, when you go to have an early check-in at a hotel, you're forced to pay $60. That actually genuinely surprised me, until to some point I asked myself, even here in Kenya, I've not heard of such a place, but maybe it exists.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's never gone to such hotels, but maybe it exists. And also another thing, I'm just wondering, like 20, 40 years down the line, where Las Vegas will be, because do you guys remember there are some parts of cities like Detroit that have died because population simply ceased to exist in those neighborhoods or moved away. So what is the future of Las Vegas looking like if streets have started being isolated like this? Are they also looking to a future where Las Vegas will remain a ghost town?
Right. And guys, I'm also very curious about Las Vegas. So if there's any of our subscribers who's living out there, you can let us know and talk to us about it on the comment section. I'm looking at the view of Las Vegas. I never thought that
it was just like
small
boxed space.
Right. But I have to say, the person who decided to build
and market Las Vegas,
they did a good job,
right?
They
did a good job, because they made it look like it was this grand place. You wouldn't even think of course it's surrounded by desert, but when you actually get an aerial view of it, you actually see how not so big it is.
Right. And then another question I have is that it's in the middle of a desert. Where do people get water? I'd like to know.
The same place Dubai gets its water,
which is where?
wherever.
I don't know, guys. Let us know.
For people to be living out there, I
know they do have water,
but you're asking how they get it.
Exactly, you know.
Right. And also another thing that I noted was when someone from the videos we've played today said that mostly Gen Zs were the ones who were driving the economy of Las Vegas, but right now most of them are moving away, if not seeking nature and the more natural things to do, you know. And I feel like this really makes sense. Gen Z's going back to nature and all of that, you know.
And I feel like if Las Vegas is not, if it won't survive this, because I do understand that this has happened before and they got well.
They survived
it. So if they don't survive it, they will need to reset Las Vegas. They will need to restructure it. The target audience is gonna need to be different, you know, because right now also when you look at the percentage of Gen Zs who are not employed or millennials, let's just take the age from 18 to 35. Probably it's not the same compared to when Las Vegas was coming
booming
up. You know, there was a time when jobs were quite easy to get, you know.
And it was easier for people to indulge in their vices back then.
Exactly.
Not so much right now, because right now people, as we say, people have priorities and the economy is really...
Right, it's not good. But guys, let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. And the question is that I'm gonna be leaving you with is, do you think that the Trump administration is the problem, or do you think that this is just something that was meant to happen regardless of
taking its course,
regardless of who is in office, you know? Because I want to believe that much as America is experiencing difficulties right now, things are not always permanent, situations are not always permanent, and I do believe that they're gonna be experiencing better times, only that they have to go through this storm first, you know.
Right. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Also consider subscribing if you're new to our episode channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.